we go with the move that we did to go back in the late in the fourth to pick up Ellick, and just a little quick little summation. This guy's a big, strong receiver with speed. We love the fact that he's wired right. What we look for in football players, he has it all. So we feel real good about the player. He's a big man who plays big, and this guy he's plenty smart and he's plenty tough. So we like a lot of things about this guy, and looking forward to getting him on board. And we also, you guys just saw, we just picked up an offensive lineman, Jackson Slater. He has the ability to play both guard and center for us. So we're gonna kind of fill two holes with that. And this guy went to a small school at Stack State, but this guy's a good football player. You know, you love everything about this guy from a standpoint. He's everything you want in an offensive lineman. You know, he goes about his business. You know, comes to work with his lunch pail, and he leaves everything empty. You know, he's tough, he's strong, and he's athletic. So we like some things about him. All of these guys going to go through some growing pains, but we like both of these additions here of late that we just got. So we are openness to any questions you may want to have. Shoot away.
See, Alec is a guy who could be your starting lineup guy opening day?
Well, he got that. He got the skill to do that. So now opening day, you know, you trying to make the rookie put a lot of pressure on the rookie. Let's give him a chance to prove himself a little bit. But he has the tools. You know, he has a lot of talent. So we are looking forward to seeing him develop. You know.
How much of a concern were the medicals with him, and just what did you guys see from it to kind of?
Yeah, we researched all of that, and our doctor we passed him on everything. So he's good. We're not concerned with any major issues with him.
When you have a guy from a school like Sacramento State, like how do you go about looking at him and saying, hey, he's going to project to be able to compete, you know, at this level?
Well, we had a chance to, of course, evaluate all the film and the competition that he had, but he also was the guy who went to the Senior Bowl, and he showed himself pretty good against some of those top-notch players. So, we feel good about what he can do against the big boys, so to speak.
What's it been like, Reggie, for you kind of finding your voice in this room, you know, this year, and how they kind of leaned on you, I think?
It's, you know what, I think old Brink done a good job piecing us together. The guys we got in that room, from the standpoint of the guys that were already here, you know, these college scouts and all of these scouts here, they done a great job. We've been grinding ever since I got here. We've been grinding, and we've come together as a team, and that's what it's all about. We got some pieces where Ziegler's come from New Orleans, and you got Kansas City and Borgo coming from, and here I am in Miami, where I've been the last 2 years. So we all kind of put in our own little flavor to it, but we come together. We listen to each other. We work well together, and I'll tell you what, we got a pretty good little group here with the guys that was already here, and with Brink and the guys we've added, us three. So we feel good about it, and I feel good about my role also.
A lot of the draft class here seems to be projected to have upside for 2 to 3 years down the road, because some of them are switching positions, some of them are coming off injuries, things like that. How do you try and accelerate their growth curve and work with the coaching staff to do that, so that a lot of these guys can contribute on more than just special teams out of the gate?
Well, it starts by day one when they get here at rookie minicamp. They get some time along with the coaches just to digest the system. But it's a lot of work on them to study, and when they get their chance in preseason, you know, as far as the camp start, shoot, man, that's when they have to shine. That's their chance to show the coaches that mentally they pick up the playbook, and then physically they can execute the game plan. So accelerating their ability to get on the field, it's going to be on them. And we're going to stress that we went into this draft to say we're going to build this team through the draft. So we're going to have to develop. You know, we draft to develop, and let's get these guys ready. So if somebody goes down, these young guys are ready to
Mike
step
has
up.
talked about the love ball factor.
Yes.
How is it easy to miss, or how easy or hard is it to
Oh,
miss?
it's
to
always-
miss on that when a guy gets money and
Yeah,
circumstances change.
yeah. It's you always measure. You know, that's the hardest part. You can look on tape and see how they can do physically. You can give them all kinds of tests to see their mental makeup, but to measure what they got inside of them, that's what good scouts are trying to do. They're trying to measure what they're gonna bring, and we felt like we did a lot of research to figure out the right kind of football character guys, and that's, you know, we put in a lot of work. So we feel good about the guys that we're bringing in on this roster.
So you draft Slater here, signed a handful of veterans with James, Mustapher, Udo, all kind of interior linemen there.
Yep.
Is there something similar about all of those guys that you're bringing in and traits that you want as backup
Well,
interior guys?
from the trait standpoint, absolutely. You know, inside, even outside at tackles, we're trying to get guys that can play the physical part of the game. We need guys. We're not looking for just athletes. You know, we're looking for gritty football players, and that's what they bring.
You've seen a lot of quarterbacks come in the league. What do you like about Cam? How do you think he will adjust to the NFL?
We ain't got enough time for me to sit up here and talk about what I like about Cam. All I can say, I love Cam. I love everything he brings. The guy, he has a presence about him that you feel good about. His presence will be in the locker room, and his presence just to be a part of this organization. So, let alone what he does on the field, he has it, and I'm on board.
You talk about developing these draft picks, right, on the field, obviously, but you know, you've done this for a while. How have you seen things change as far as how much input you have to put into developing them off the field, and what are some of the things you guys are going to do to make sure that that's done correctly?
Well, we have the departments in place to deal for players to deal with, you know, when they get here, you know, with families. And so, I mean, back in the day when I came out, you know, we didn't have a lot of this stuff in place. But we have a lot of tools, you know, and that's a tribute to the league. The league with having player development departments and people coming from the league talking to rookies and giving them a lot of advice and a lot of information. So it's, you know, the rookies nowadays, it's a lot coming at them in a positive way to help them along in this transition.
But on a team level, you see some of Baltimore, Cleveland, and Philadelphia, like they do specific things to ensure that the process is carried out correctly. Yeah. How have you guys looked to try to close that gap between you and
well, I mean, we research that, you know, throughout the league every year. So trust me, we are actively trying to make sure that we're on par, and we're doing some. We discussed things since we've been here, and we talked about what Borgo has done in Kansas City, and what Ziggs has done where he came from. And same for me. We just throwing information, and Brinker has done a great job of trying to get some things done, and he's already done some things. So we trying to make sure we on par, and we want to be in the forefront. You know, that's so we, you know, because it's all about the players, and if we can improve every aspect for what we do for them, we're going to try to do it.
How much have you liked being back in Tennessee?
Well, you know, born in Rocky Top in Knoxville, first 22 years of my life, it's always good to be back home. So I'm a fan of the state of Tennessee, so I'm excited to be here.